Imagine standing in Ayodhya, the ancient capital of northern India, around 7,000 years ago. The entire kingdom is awake before dawn. Mothers wake their children and point toward the eastern sky. Fathers gather in the streets. Priests chant mantras in the great temple. Because today, their prince, the one they have waited for across generations, is finally being crowned king. His name is Rama. And his reign would become the gold standard against which every king, every leader, every person seeking to live with integrity would measure themselves for millennia to come. But here is what most people do not know. Lord Rama is not remembered as a king because he won battles or conquered empires. He is remembered because he made impossible choices, choices that cost him everything, and chose dharma, righteousness, above his own happiness. And by the end of this video, you will understand why his story remains the most powerful guide to living with purpose that humanity has ever known. We will discover the one decision that changed his entire life and why it matters to you today. Lord Rama is the seventh avatar, the divine incarnation of Vishnu, the preserver of the cosmos in Hindu philosophy. He was born to King Dashrath and Queen Kaushalya in the ancient kingdom of Ayodhya, a city located in what is now Uttar Pradesh, India. The Ramayana, the epic poem composed by the sage Valmiki approximately 2,500 years ago, tells his story across 7 books and nearly 24,000 verses. But Rama's story had been passed down orally for thousands of years before that, a testament to how deeply his life has shaped the spiritual consciousness of Hinduism. His birth itself was extraordinary. King Dashrath had performed the Putrakmeshthi Yagna, a sacred ritual to beget a son, when the heavens opened and the gods themselves sent a divine child to be born as the ideal human. Rama was not born with magical powers he could use selfishly. He was born as a complete human being, brilliant, skilled in archery, deeply devoted to his parents, but forced to navigate the same struggles, doubts, and moral complexities that every one of us faces. This is crucial to understand. Rama is the avatar who chose to live as a human, bound by human limitations and human dharma. He grew up in the royal palace, trained in statecraft, warfare, and philosophy. He married Sita, a princess of incomparable virtue and beauty, whom he loved with absolute devotion. By all measures, his life was destined for the throne. His father had promised him the crown. The people loved him. And then, at the threshold of his coronation, everything changed. But here is what most people, even devout Hindus, do not know about Lord Rama. The defining moment of his entire life, the moment that made him an avatar worth worshipping, was not a battle or a miracle. It was the night before his coronation, when he chose to give up his throne, his wife's comfort, his own happiness, and spend 14 years in exile in a forest, all because his father had made a promise to another wife decades earlier, and that promise had to be honored. His father, King Dashrath, had promised Rama's stepmother, Kaikeyi, to boons, to wishes, years ago when he loved her most. When the time came, Kaikeyi asked that her own son become king instead, and that Rama be exiled. Rama could have refused. He could have claimed the throne was rightfully his. Instead, he bowed to his father, accepted the exile with absolute grace, and left the kingdom in silence. Not once did he blame Kaikeyi. Not once did he question his father's judgment. He simply chose dharma over his own desires. This is the moment that defines him eternally. What Rama teaches us is that dharma, righteousness, is not a reward system. It is not about doing the right thing to get what you want. True dharma means doing the right thing even when it costs you everything. Even when no one will ever know. Even when it destroys your plans and breaks your heart. Rama wandered the forests for 14 years with his wife and his loyal brother Lakshman. He could have used his divine powers to shorten his exile. He could have negotiated. Instead, he lived as a simple ascetic, depending on the hospitality of forest sages and forest dwellers. During this exile, he faced Ravana, the 10-headed demon king, in a war that lasted weeks and claimed thousands of lives. But even in battle, Rama refused to kill Ravana on the first day when he could have, because it would have violated the warrior's code of honor to strike an unarmed enemy. In the modern world, where we are constantly told to prioritize our own success, our own comfort, our own advancement, Rama's life feels almost radical. We see his sacrifice and wonder, is it naive? Is it weakness? But this is precisely where Rama's dharma transforms into universal wisdom. He teaches that the greatest strength is not in dominating others or accumulating power. The greatest strength is in keeping your word, honoring those you love, and being absolutely unshakable in your integrity, even when the world would celebrate your rebellion. Rama's reign, when he finally returned to Ayodhya after 14 years, was remembered as the perfect age, Rama Rajya. Not because he ruled with an iron fist, but because he ruled with such justice, such compassion, and such unwavering commitment to dharma that every citizen felt protected and honored. Crime disappeared. Conflicts dissolved. The rivers flowed abundantly. The harvests were rich. But all of this flowed from the character he had built through years of exile, through choosing dharma again and again, through becoming a person so aligned with cosmic truth that his very presence elevated the world around him. You see, Lord Rama is the ideal king not because he had power, he had that by birth. He is the ideal king because he understood something that every human heart knows but every ego fights against, that true leadership, true success, true fulfillment comes not from taking what you can, but from giving what you should. From honoring your commitments. From choosing integrity in the moment when no one is watching. From understanding that your character is your legacy, and your dharma is your eternal purpose. As you move through your own life, facing your own difficult choices, your own temptations to compromise, your own moments where the easy path calls to you, remember Rama standing in the palace that night, accepting his exile with grace. Remember that the divine does not test us with impossible choices to break us. It tests us to refine us. Every time you choose dharma over comfort, integrity over advantage, honor over applause, you become a little more like Rama. And you become a little more divine. That is the eternal teaching of the ideal king. Subscribe to Sanatan